She doesn't stay with the man who gives her the most. She stays with the man who makes her feel the most. And if she's never loved you back the way you wanted, it's not because you weren't good enough. It's because you never understood how to trigger the part of her psychology that makes her addicted to you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down 7 dark psychology tricks that can make any woman attached to you on a level she can't explain and can't escape. But before we dive into that, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and let me know in the comments what country you're watching from. I read every single one, and it shows me how many men are finally ready to stop playing her game and start rewriting the rules. Now, let's get into it. Because what you're about to hear isn't just theory. It's a blueprint for how female psychology really works when it comes to love and attraction. Trick 1. Emotional imprint. If you want a woman to love you on a level she doesn't even understand, you have to go deeper than looks, money, or status. You have to carve yourself into her emotional memory. Because here's the truth. A woman doesn't fall in love with the things you buy her. She falls in love with the way you make her feel. That's emotional imprinting. It's about creating moments so intense, so unforgettable, that whenever she thinks of you, her body responds before her mind can even catch up. Most men keep things safe and ordinary, predictable conversations, predictable dates, predictable energy, and that's why they never stand out. But the man who knows how to anchor emotions inside her will never be forgotten. Emotional imprinting works because the female brain is wired to attach to emotional highs and lows. When you make her laugh until her stomach hurts, when you challenge her in ways other men are too afraid to, when you create tension and then release it, you're programming her to associate you with emotional intensity. She doesn't sit down and think logically, I like this guy because he's nice. Number. Her subconscious tells her, I can't stop thinking about him, and she won't even know why. That's the power of imprinting. It's not about faking who you are. It's about learning how to control the environment you create when she's with you. Do you bring her into adventure? Do you make her feel like she's in a story worth remembering? Or do you leave her with the same bland feeling every other man gives? A woman doesn't replay logical conversations in her head when she's lying in bed at night. She replays the moments where her heart raced, where she felt alive, where she felt something she hasn't felt in years. And if you can be the source of that, you're already inside her head in a way no one else is. Trick 2. Push-pull dynamics. One of the most powerful dark psychology tactics is mastering the art of push and pull. At its core, this is about creating emotional contrast, keeping her off balance in a way that draws her closer instead of pushing her away. Most men think the path to a woman's heart is through constant attention, endless validation, and non-stop availability. But what actually happens? She gets bored. She feels no spark, no tension, no reason to chase. Desire dies in predictability. The man who understands push-pull never lets her fully predict him. He knows when to lean in and when to pull back. He gives warmth and then creates space. He compliments, then challenges. He engages deeply, then steps away. This rhythm is what keeps her locked in emotionally. The female mind craves uncertainty because uncertainty creates obsession. When she feels like she has you wrapped around her finger, the game is over. But when she can't fully figure you out, when she wonders why you pulled back right when things felt perfect, her brain races. She starts questioning herself, thinking about you, replaying conversations, trying to decode your signals. And in that mental loop, she invests more and more energy into you without even realizing it. That's how attraction turns into fixation. Push-pull is not about being cruel or manipulative. It's about giving her the emotional roller coaster that bonds her to you. Imagine being close enough that she feels your presence, your interest, your attention, then creating just enough distance that she feels the loss of it. That gap makes her crave your return, and when you give it back, it feels twice as powerful. The cycle repeats, and every time the attachment grows stronger. She doesn't just want you, she needs to know where she stands with you. And the more she chases that certainty, the deeper she falls. Trick 3. Scarcity principle. What is rare becomes valuable, and what is everywhere becomes invisible. This is the foundation of the scarcity principle, and it's one of the most potent psychological triggers you can use to make a woman invest in you. Most men make the mistake of giving unlimited access to their time, energy, and attention. They're always available, always responding instantly, always dropping everything the second she calls. And in doing so, they kill the very desire they're trying to build. A woman doesn't value what she doesn't have to work for. If she knows you're always there, she stops needing to fight for your presence. But when you position yourself as scarce, as someone not easily accessible, her desire for you multiplies. Scarcity is not about ignoring her or playing childish games. It's about showing through your actions that your life is full, that you are in demand, that your time is not something to be wasted. When she realizes she has to earn your attention, she starts treating it like the prize it is. She plans harder, invests deeper, and values you more because she knows she could lose access at any moment. That tension of, will I see him? Will I hear from him? What is he doing when he's not with me? Makes her mind spiral in your direction, building attachment without you having to force anything. The female brain equates scarcity with value because it activates the same survival instincts tied to competition and reward. When you're scarce, she compares herself to other women, she worries about losing her place, and she subconsciously raises her effort to secure her position in your life. This isn't about starving her of attention. It's about creating the right balance where she never fully feels like she has you under control. That uncertainty keeps her chasing, and in the chase, love begins to take root. Trick 4. Mirroring and emotional sync. When you understand the psychology of connection, you realize that people are drawn to what feels familiar and safe. Mirroring and emotional sync work on that exact principle. It's the subtle act of reflecting her energy, her tone, her gestures, even her pace of speaking, in a way that makes her subconscious mind feel like you and her are on the same wavelength. She won't notice it logically, but emotionally, she will feel a strange sense of comfort and alignment. Her guard lowers, her trust grows, and she begins to experience you as someone who just gets her without her needing to explain. That's the beginning of a deep bond. Think about how human beings behave when they're truly in sync with someone. Friends laugh at the same time, lovers finish each other's sentences, people in conversation adopt similar postures without realizing it. This isn't coincidence. It's psychology at work. When you mirror a woman's vibe intentionally, you're sending signals to her brain that you are alike, that you belong in her inner circle, that you're emotionally connected. And because women are driven by emotional resonance over logical reasoning, this kind of connection bypasses the rational filter and taps directly into her subconscious attraction triggers. Emotional sync goes beyond just physical mirroring. It means picking up on her mood and amplifying or balancing it at the right time. If she's excited, you rise with her energy. If she's vulnerable, you soften your presence to match. This creates a rhythm between you two that feels natural and unforced, but incredibly magnetic. She begins to crave that emotional alignment because it makes her feel understood in ways most men will never make her feel. Once she links you with that rare sense of deep understanding, she starts to attach, and from attachment grows the seed of love. Trick 5. Triggering jealousy lightly. Jealousy is one of the most primal emotions in human psychology, and when used with precision, it can anchor a woman's feelings for you in ways nothing else can. The key is subtlety. Too much jealousy can destroy trust, but just the right amount sparks her competitive instincts and makes her fight for your attention. A woman wants to feel chosen. She wants to feel like she's the one who stands out above all others. When she senses that your attention is valued by others, when she notices that other women respond to your presence, it activates a powerful desire in her to secure her place with you. Triggering jealousy lightly doesn't mean flirting with every woman in sight or trying to make her insecure. It means carrying yourself in a way that naturally attracts attention and not hiding it when it happens. Maybe it's a subtle smile you exchange with another woman. Maybe it's the way you keep your social circle alive. Maybe it's the way you casually mention your interactions without over-explaining. These small cues remind her that you are not dependent on her validation and that other women find you desirable. And in that reminder, she feels a subtle pressure. If she doesn't step up, someone else will. The female brain is wired for competition when it comes to high-value men. This is rooted in biology. Throughout history, women had to secure the best mate before another woman did. That instinct hasn't disappeared. It's simply hidden beneath layers of modern behavior. When you awaken it carefully, she starts investing more effort, giving more energy, and showing more affection, all to make sure she stays the center of your attention. Jealousy used lightly doesn't push her away. It pulls her in closer because it makes her realize she has something valuable that others want, and she will fight harder to keep it. Trick 6. Future pacing. The human brain struggles to separate imagination from reality, and this is where the power of future pacing comes in. When you speak to a woman in a way that paints vivid pictures of what life could look like with you, her subconscious starts to experience those scenarios as if they are already happening. You're not just telling her what might be, you're guiding her mind into living it in advance. That's why advertisers don't sell products, they sell experiences. And in the same way, you're not just presenting yourself as a man, you're presenting the emotional world she could step into by being with you. Future pacing works because it anchors you into her long-term vision without you ever needing to beg for commitment. You might casually say, "Imagine us walking through that city together," or, "You'd love how I cook that dish. I'll make it for you one day." And instantly, her brain begins to play that movie. She sees herself there, beside you, in a moment that hasn't even happened yet. Each time you drop these subtle suggestions, you're stitching yourself deeper into her mental narrative of the future. Over time, she stops separating her vision of what's to come from your presence in it. This trick isn't about making grand promises or fake fantasies. It's about planting small seeds that grow into emotional attachment. When she starts picturing adventures, laughter, even quiet nights with you in her future, her emotions begin to bond with that vision. She doesn't just see you as someone she's dating right now. She begins to feel you as part of her ongoing story. And when a woman feels like you're already written into her future, her heart naturally starts to move toward love because her mind has already accepted the role you play in her life. Trick 7. Control of frame. Every interaction between a man and a woman operates within a frame, and whoever controls the frame controls the direction of the relationship. Frame is the unspoken set of rules, beliefs, and expectations that dictate how two people engage with each other. Most men give up this power without even realizing it. They let her emotions dictate the mood, they let her tests dictate their reactions, and they let her decisions set the course of everything that happens. When that occurs, attraction dies, because women are not wired to lead. They are wired to respond. The man who knows how to hold his frame becomes the emotional anchor she cannot resist. Controlling the frame doesn't mean being aggressive or domineering. It means having such certainty in who you are and what you stand for that she naturally adapts to your rhythm. If you are calm, she feels calm. If you are decisive, she feels secure. If you maintain your standards without bending, she feels the gravity of your presence and respects it. Women test boundaries not because they want weakness, but because they want proof of strength. And when you don't fold, when you stay grounded in your reality no matter what she throws at you, she attaches herself to that stability. The psychology behind this is simple. The feminine seeks direction, the masculine provides it. Without frame, she feels like she's leading herself, and that drains her attraction. With frame, she feels guided, safe, and pulled into your world. Your values set the tone, your energy sets the mood, your decisions set the path forward. And in that structure, she relaxes into her feminine role while you stand firm in your masculine one. The more consistently you hold this frame, the more she bonds to it, until her emotional world revolves around your presence and the story you are leading her into.